let's just read the news, man.
Let's do it.
We got the story from timcast.com.
Oh.
Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot warns unvaccinated residents, your time is up. And she said it just like that, too.
Oh.
She said, we didn't want it to get to this point. Actually, I should read it like Lori Lightfoot because she's Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
But she talks like this. We didn't want it to get to this point. But given the situation we find ourselves in, we have no choice. Beginning January 3rd, you must show proof you are fully vaxxed to enter bars. I haven't seen that movie in a really long time,
Such
by
a
the
good
way.
impression.
So I don't know if I'm doing a good
I
Michael
love it.
Keaton. She says, to enter bars, restaurants, fitness centers, and entertainment and recreational venues where food and drink are served. But the best part was when she said, where is it? Do we even have it on here? Here we go. To put it simply, if you have been living vaccine-free, your time is up.
Wow.
If you wish to live life, as with the ease to do the things you love, you must be vaxxed. This health order may pose an inconvenience to the unvaccinated, and in fact, it is inconvenient by design. I had to read it like a villain.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the most villainous, statements on vaccine mandates from any executive.
I don't know. That one from Biden was pretty bad. They're like, if you don't get vaccinated, you face a long, dark, cold winter, and you're going to overwhelm the hospitals, and basically you're going to die.
I don't. Yes, it was bad, but I don't agree. Right? When I saw, so that was from Zients or whatever, the coronavirus task force guy on Biden's administration. He said the unvaxxed can be expecting a winter of death and suffering or whatever because you'll overwhelm the hospitals. But that's more like I imagine that as if I was watching a movie. There's like a hooded figure issuing like a prophetic warning and like shaking a bony finger. You will face death. And that's not the real villain. But this one, she's like, if you've been living vaccine free, your time is up. That's like Skeletor straight up being like, I'll get you, He-Man. Not like just like a warning.
They're just going to try to make your life as miserable as possible.
She said it.
Yep.
Literally.
Bill de Blasio was like, we're going to take away your life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness unless you inject yourself with this, this medication.
You want liberty? Do what we say.
Yep.
But you won't even get liberty if you do it. That's the crazy thing.
No, not at all. And in fact, the D.C. area, Washington, D.C. just came out with its own vax mandate today, as a matter of fact. And in there, it gave a definition of vaccinated, and it's like 2 shots. You're only 1 shot if you're a kid, 2 shots if you're an adult. Of course, that's going to change. There's no liberty there. You're going to just keep having to get the shot. But I'm faced with now, I'm literally, I can't go to any restaurants in D.C.
You got to move.
Again.
You got to move.
I got to move. I wish it were that easy. I'm divorced. It's been a long time. It's been 12 years we've been divorced. The kids are here. I'm not, I have 2 choices. I can either abandon my kids or I can kidnap them. Either way, these are 2, obviously I can't do either one of those. So I'm stuck. Right. And, I wish people would understand that when they come at me about the vax thing. It's like, also, I have split custody. And this is a thing divorced families are facing all across the country where the parents don't agree on what to do about the vaccine.
Well, now there's no question. Your kids have to be vaxxed, period.
I mean, they're making it that way.
It used to be, so we had that conversation about, your kids want to do sports, and then we got in that debate. Now it doesn't even matter. That's not even a question anymore. Now it's, there's not going to be any legal defense. There will be, but I'll say this first and foremost. It's one thing to be like, if I want my kids to play sports, they got to get the vaccine because of these rules. Now they're just going to be like, if you want your kid to go to a restaurant, if to go to a gym, to go to the schools, to do any of that stuff, they have to be vaxxed. So it's either they stay at home all day or they get the vaccine. So I think that when it comes to a court argument where you're saying you don't want your kids.
Yeah, there's no choice. The
judge is going to
be like, boom, done.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I literally have no choice. And people don't like nuance. The trolls don't like any nuance, and they give me a hard time about our conversation that we had a couple of months ago. And I'm just faced with the fact that I'm no longer going to be able to go to restaurants, museum, bars, nightclubs, theaters, music venues, whatever. And even in the adjacent counties, Montgomery County, Arlington County, they're going to be doing the same thing. Montgomery County just announced it. I'm never going to be able to go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art ever again in New York City. I'm like being deleted out of society because I'm a strong, healthy, man that has, maybe I think I've had it before. I remember March 2020 after CPAC. Man, everybody was sick after CPAC.
Yeah.
Well, and people got it at CPAC.
Yeah.
I'm going to Chicago, and we're leaving tomorrow
Oh,
at some
gosh.
point. And this is probably the last time I'll ever go to Chicago. No joke. No
Yeah.
joke. I feel fortunate that I've been able to travel the world already.
Right.
Because so many people can't. But and the response from the people in the cult are just like, why don't you just do as you're told. And I'm like, because I don't agree with it. Whether you're vaccinated or not, I think the mandates are absolutely wrong. In Austria, they're bringing out inspectors to go track people down and find them. So what I think is going to happen is what Chicago's basically saying is, for the foreseeable future until we deem it safe. It's never going to be safe.
Not ever, ever.